Alright, so starting with the new content, first things first, we have a city revamp. Now, the city has overall, I'd say, been made bigger. It has more areas to go through, with also the addition of the Amaterasu fire generator, which, in the anime is what powered the entire city, as well as some new NPCs built in around there. Some locations have also switched spots, but I'd say once you get adjusted to the map, it's overall easier, and the map is a lot more accurate, a lot more lively, and a lot more vibrant. It's much easier on the eyes, and it doesn't get boring super fast, alright? There are plenty of places to go as well. Overall, I think the map has been a great improvement, and not too much else has changed besides that within that specific area. Next, we have the ability weapons, which is basically just a quality of life update to weapons in general for abilities that had weapons. No longer do you need to equip them on your toolbar. You can actually press E to use them instead. Just a minor change, a little bit quicker, it leaves you more for your moves on the toolbar. Next up we have the new GUI, which has changed basically a little bit of everything about the GUI, having a less cartoony look to it, and being, I'd say, a little bit more sleek, maybe a little bit more serious. Now, regardless of what you think of the GUI, it's not changing much, but I do think that the GUI does take up a little bit less space on the screen. So that is a good thing, regardless of how you think it looks. Now, also change to that has become, the main menu has also changed, loading things have changed, the GUI in ranked has changed, so has phone missions, menus changed. Next up is the mission system, which has actually had a little bit of minor changes, not so much too crazy, but you will notice when you load up, you won't just be sent into random missions that might be above your character's pay grade at that point, what they can handle. It'll actually section off into different levels for you to go through. So even though it can be a little bit annoying to be locked out of some quests, it is overall going to make leveling a little bit more smoother and consistent. Next, Infernals have been given a place to spawn, just like White Clads in Fire Force. So they will now not just be running around randomly in random places, they have a dedicated place for them to go in a spawn. Next is the bounty board, which adds another option for players, maybe if you want to get revenge or something, for better, I guess because there are still PvP missions that are sectioned off. However, I guess this is more of a method for higher players, kind of just force encounters. It's basically just void walking for people who want that type of PvP content. Next is the Adola marking, which is basically just a little accessory that goes on your character's head just to show you have Adola burst. Nothing really that it changes at all, it's just a little cool thing to have to show people who actually have it. Next is the boss item display, which basically allows you to see the most important drops a boss has. Some of them might have one, some of them might have two. I don't know if on release it'll show all of the boss's drops, hopefully it will, but it shows you that, as well as a little loading bar to show you when the boss is about to spawn, just so that people don't second guess when certain bosses spawn. And if it does not appear, that just means that the boss is not ready to spawn yet, but when it does appear, if it appears after you kill the boss, that means it is capable of respawning right then and there. Next is the map indicator. By pressing U on your keyboard, you can just see certain locations that might be important to you at the time. Items also now may display certain info, so you can learn things about the item you have, just extra descriptions to add to the items, as well as Adola actually being revamped as well, having a new look entirely and having certain new locations on the map as well. So first things first, the new accessories. They've added over 47 new accessories, some of them even having new passives and abilities for you to use. Now, I'm not going to go over every single one of them because obviously that would take forever and I'd have to get them in the first place. But just know that you can get them from basically doing anything at all. Some are locked to Adola, some are in Desert, some are in Ranked. Just play the game and you'll find out. There's also a Trello, which I will link below, where you can check out some of this stuff. Now, there are also new NPCs, the most notable of which being the Holy Soul Temple NPCs, as which the commanders can actually use Steel for Death. Now, there are also new mini-bosses added into the game, like Arthur, Shinra, and Joker, as well as new NPCs within Adola itself. There have also been new quests added to the game as well, which include things like phone missions, which have new quests that will cycle through on easy, medium, and hard difficulties, as well as quest lines where you could obtain new accessories, and also faction-based quest lines where it basically tells you to do certain things in the game, and in return you get extra experience for it, in turn making it easier to level. Next up, we have the bounty system, which is mainly what is acquired when you're in a higher level tier, where you're just going to be killing other players. Now what this does, it helps with steal for death progression, generation progression, because what it allows you to do is hunt down higher level players and in turn kill them, which makes it a lot easier to find people to actually progress your certain abilities with. Now we do have new bosses as well, as I had already mentioned, the Joker, Arthur, and Shinra bosses. Now there is another boss that's new to the game, I believe it's called the Grand or Elder Reaper, and there will be more bosses getting added soon. I might not even know of all the bosses here right now, but there are also boss rifts, which we will be getting into later. There's also a new augment called the Magma Augment, which basically what it does is it shoots up spikes of lava at your opponent, and it'll be able to fling them in the air and ragdoll. In Adela, there are also hazards, so you can go insane, which in turn causes you, when you get close to the void, to walk into it and also make your screen blurry. There are also weather, so it sometimes will rain down like starfire or whatever you want to call it, and it will burn you over time. There is also a new dungeon, which are the boss rifts I mentioned earlier, which within them do mini rifts like payloads, mini bosses, or waves, and then you finally fight the boss to finally collect all of the rewards that you get from it. Now, on top of this, there has also been added new abilities for each generation to get, except for Generation 1, which I have made a video on already, so please do feel free to check that out. Now, there's also a new subclass called Reaper, which in short gives you a lot of life steal, so it basically makes you a vampire. Now in the future there will be more subclasses added, as well as version 2s, as I do believe that version 2s were a thing that were in the game before. Now there are also boss weapons added, which essentially change your M2s as far as I know, and may also change some of your M1s when you equip the weapon. Now these drop from bosses like Sho and that new Reaper boss that I mentioned, and they can give you actually like very good like head starts when it comes to like battles in PvE and stuff like that. On top of that, a little fun addition, Excalibur from Soul Eater is also in the game. He spawns around the map randomly and he'll give you random dialogue. And apparently, or so I hear, he can also give you a chest sometimes when you find it. Alright, so starting it off strong, we have the main game changes. Now, when it comes to main game progression, there have been significant changes for those who want to notice. Okay, now here's what I mean. Before, to get max level, it'd probably take you a few days, on top of getting Press of Death maxed out, Steal for Death, all that stuff, right? Not anymore. Okay. Quests give a lot more experience. Experience King is a lot better. And not only that, you have a ton of side quests that you can now complete, as well as faction quests that will give you even more experience as you go along. So honestly, it's as hard as you want to make it. Just make sure that you're doing all the quests that are presented to you, and you are good. As well as the fact that with Press of Death, Steal for Death, there are also NPCs now that allow you to track your progress so you can see how close. No more second guessing your progress, alright? Now we go over to Adela a little bit, and getting there actually isn't as hard either. You don't require as much grace farming as you had to do earlier. Honestly, it's presented a lot easier, and you can still do the show method if you want to, right? And now, when you're actually in there getting Scorched, Steal for Death version 2, or Adela Burst, bro, that's easy too. It is so easy because there are a lot more NPCs that are spawning around there. There's not like, and they spawn pretty frequently too, but not too much to the point where you're gonna get overwhelmed, right? There are new locations, there are new places, new quests within there. It's just like, bro, there's really not an excuse to say that it's too hard anymore. Really, everything can be done in a reasonable time as long as you want to get it done. And there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna probably still think that it takes so long, but really, think about it. Think about how long it took last time. Think about how many people wouldn't even have attempted to do it before just because of the sheer amount of time you had to put in. With this, You can get that done within less than a day if you really wanted to. Before, it might take you a week or two for like the average player. Think about that. It's a lot better. And once again, there are ways you can track your progress. So you don't need to second guess where you're at within the process. You don't have to feel drained about that. Now, on top of this, mission queues are also better. They're a lot faster. You don't have to wait as much because the mission queues are way better, right? The way they're sectioned off allows for you to basically get to your quest instantly without having to wait. As well as PvP quests. And this also goes for ranked as well. Ranked has gotten a lot better and is actually a good option for gaining experience as well. Once you unlock ranked, you can go in there, and for the matches you win, not only are you going to be getting experience, you're going to be getting items, you're going to get rerolls, you're going to get dungeon tokens, you're going to get ranked tokens. Bro, you're getting good stuff. More people need to go and rank, and I do hope this inspires more people to try out rank, because it's not a waste of your time. And if anything, you should probably try spending some more of your time in there, especially if you're not like a super endgame player, because the stuff that it gives you, oh dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna want that. It beats having to do hard things at the level or place that you currently are in the game. It makes progress so much easier to have access to those items just to fight somebody that's within your tier bracket, okay? So, and you don't have to wait to get to like these crazy far in levels to get good rewards. You get good rewards right away as long as you win. So just go for rank. Just do it. Try it. Now before we end this section, I also do want to say, since the progress, I know I'm making it sound like you're basically just going to progress easily, like within like a day or two, like within the week. Well, guess what? Even if you do, first off, you still gotta get your accessories, complete your build. But even if you don't want to, they have slots now, and the slots are actually pretty cheap. Only 10 Robux. Dude, for $1, you could literally get 8 slots. Come on. You have slots now. You have an option of making different builds that you can go with. No longer do you need to make a ton of alt accounts. Okay, there you go. All in one place. Now to end this video off, I do want to go over things that will be coming in the future, like a new faction that has been confirmed in some regard. I believe that there might be a Holy Soul faction, okay? There might be a Holy Soul faction. There will be new bosses coming to the game as the game updates. The artifacts will be a thing that introduce into the game, okay? There will also be new abilities, like, for example, I believe I remember them discussing Show's ability getting added as well. Of course, new accessories should be expected to come with this as well, and I do believe they were talking about adding Generation 1 styles that other generations could get, which means they're not going to get the abilities of a Generation 1, but they can use the weapons to change their M1 styles and their M2s. But they would not keep the same passives nor abilities Generation 1s would get, so it's really more cosmetic than anything. Alright. And before we end this all off, I do want to say they are planning bi-weekly updates, which means there'd be an update every 2 weeks. And if there's anything wrong, whether on console, mobile, PC, let the developers know. Suggest things. Report bugs. The developers want to make a good game, and they want to hear your feedback for their game, okay? Your suggestion could literally help the game in major ways within the following week of an update. Make the game that much better. So don't be afraid to submit what your thoughts on the game are. Don't give like critiques that are obviously just trolling or not really giving you anything like, oh, this is trash or something like that. Actually be creative and descriptive. Really describe what the problem is and try to think of a way to fix it, or at least ask for a way for it to be fixed, okay? Don't just come in there with like bad energy, because if you come in there being ignorant, you're gonna get ignored. Alright, sign time out.